Hi, dear audience. I'm Yu Chen, a student at the Chinese University of Hong Kong, Shenzhen. It's my great honor to share our work on the GameSys 21. The paper title is The Advertising in Free-to-Play Games, a Game Theory Analysis. The presentation will be mainly divided into three parts. First, I will talk about the background of our work. The main theme of the work is the free-to-play game. Hereafter, I will call it F2P. More specifically, we will focus on the mobile platform. Then, we focus on a specific case. We look into a new emerging revenue model in the theory and build up the model. The model is the second part. Finally, we will give the analysis and share our findings with you in the last part. Video game market is booming recently year. As a kind of digital product, there are various selling models on the market. Let's see some common video games revenue models. The most common method is the buyout revenue model. This is almost accompanied with the video game industry. Game provider either sell the hardware or software copyright to the players. This revenue model has two major problems. First, pirate copy damage the revenue. Digital copy protection is still need to improve. Second, the big fans cannot pay more for one game. Fewer players choose to buy multiple copies to show their love to one game. On the contrary, some players may be stopped by the game price before the experience. Either cases make the game provider loses the market surplus. To overcome the shortcoming of the buyout revenue model, in recent years, F2P game become popular with the rising of online and mobile game. In this revenue model, player can experience almost all the content in the game. However, the game provider set some barriers or limits to encourage the player paid for the game. There are three major methods in F2P games to make profit. The first one is the virtual product selling, and the second one is the premium subscription, also called freemium. And the third is the most emerging one, the in-game advertising. The most directly is the virtual product selling. Players can use the real currency to buy the virtual products in the game, and this product makes the game experience better. And the second is the premium selling. Players can enjoy the better game experience during the premium time. Both of these two revenue models directly divided players into two groups, the paid and the free riders. Due to the similarity of this directly selling and the premium, here we simplify the problem. Take the premium subscription as the example to analyze its advantage and disadvantage compared to the buyout revenue model. The advantage compared with the buyout model is that the F2P game will attract more players, especially on mobile platform. People may start to play a game on their fragment times. F2P games has a larger install base, hence squeezing out more market surplus. However, due to its divided players in the paid and unpaid, this disadvantage is also distinct. Premium undermines the fairness in the game. In a long-run perspective, players will quit the game due to the feeling of unfairness. Hence, the life cycle of the game is shortened. Due to the weakness of the virtual product selling and the premium model, the advertisements are introduced into the market. Players can get better game experience by watching ads. Then the game providers get revenue by selling the ad slot to advertisers. This kind of revenue model is relatively new and only applied on some lightweight casual game. To here, What we want to get insight is that whether we can combine the freemium model with the in-game ads, the market structure will be like this. There are three parties in the market. The game provider, here we denote it as the operator, many players, we denote it as users, and finally, advertisers. Operator provides game service to all players and the extra game experience to those premium players. Also, the operator provides partial extra game experience to those players who do not want to pay for the game by watching ads. The operator sells these ad slots to the advertisers who want to promote their band or products. We call this model as the mixed revenue model in our work. In this revenue model, the operator gets profit by selling premium services as well as ad slots. Players can just experience the free part by doing nothing extra or to become a premium players, or watch ads to earn partial premium services. The advertisers can get into the video game industry and promote its brand by buying ad slots at a price they thought valuable. Actually, the mixed model has been adopted in some off-the-shelf games, but to our knowledge, no theoretical analysis of this model yet. In this work, we are the first one to analyze the mixed model by using the game theory to prove the triple win situation of the model. Let's come to see the model. The player utility is defined as mu for premium player and free players. There are different extra utility terms. Here, B is a function of MP, the number of the player. More players makes the snowberry externality more significant. For free players, M is the number of ads to watch. C is a function of M, the compromised game experience due to ads watching. Overall, the player's payoff function has three components. The mu means the player's utility term, E is the extra utility, and the C is a constant cost. Here is the advertisers model. First, the number of slots can be calculated as NS. We consider the wear-out effect in the model. So the effectiveness has A and B, these two empirical factors related to the wear-out effect. The advertisers payoff function is effectiveness minus the cost of ad slot. After defining of the model, we start our analysis. We use a two-stage Stackerberger game to solve the problem. In this model, the game provider is the leader in the market. Players and advertisers are the follower. We adopted the classical way to get the result, the backward induction. So we first analyze the players and advertisers' decision in the stage 2, then the optimal decision of the provider in stage 1. Here we come to the player's decision first. They should either choose to watching ads or become premium. The optimal payoff of these two are shown. Theta is the player's type, and that means how much valuable the game to one certain player. The payoff for premium is relatively fixed, and the payoff for free players is heavily depends on the M, the number of ads watching. For different theta, the player type, two cases may occur for one certain player. The figure shows the payoff for free or premium with respect to the number of ads watching. We should notice that the figures are only for understanding the choice for one player, and they are not exactly numerical results. The horizontal line in both figures are the payoff of the premium. It is not related to the number of ads watching because the premium players are ads-free. The curves are the payoff for ads watching. We can see that it is a concave function with respect to M, the payoff will reach the maximum on some point. The difference is whether the ads watching payoff surpass the premium. A rational player will not choose to subscribe the premium if the ads watching payoff is larger. So if one player's payoff is the left figure, he or she will choose to become free player because the ad incentive is no larger than premium service. And if the payoff is right figure, she or he will choose to become premium. After the analysis for one player's decision, we come to see the overall payoff for all different players type. There are some players type we should notice. First is the theta 0. It is the entry point. The player type smaller than this will not choose to play the game. That means for those who don't like the game, they will not choose either premium or ads watching. The payoff is 0 for them. Second is the theta 1. This point is the swing point. For those player type is theta 1, the optimal payoff for premium may or may not have a jump. Here we show the case that have a jump. Theta 1's player type will shift to premium. They may occur that the payoff for ads watching and the premium are exactly the same for players type in theta 1. They can choose either one. For those player type between theta 0 and theta 1, they choose to watching ads. For player type larger than theta 1, they choose to become premium. The dashed line is the payoff if they choose ads watching. They will not see any more ads than M star, so the ads watching payoff become a constant. For premium subscriber, the payoff is linearity with the player's type. Then, after the analysis of player, we come to advertisers. There are 3 cases. The first case means the ad slot created by player is 0. Advertisers will not choose to buy any slot. The second case is the price for each ad slot is too large than a value related to empirical value A, B, and the number of ad slots. In this case, the ad slot is too expensive. Advertisers will also not buy any ad slot. And in case 3, all conditions other than case 1 and 2, advertisers will buy a certain number of ad slots to maximize the broadcasting effect for each dollar. These are the decision making in the second stage. Then we look into the first stage, the decision of the provider. We first define the provider's payoff function. Here, NPP is the number of premium subscribers, which can be calculated by the provider. The payoff consists of 2 parts. The first is the revenue come from the premium. And the second is the revenue come from ad slot selling. The provider's optimal problem can be formulated as here. The constraint is that the actual ad selling number is smaller than the ad slot created by players. The provider should not cheat the advertisers. The problem is a convex problem and hence solvable. There exists equilibrium in our model. Finally, let's conclude our work. In the mixed revenue model, it is a triple win situation. The provider gets more market surplus. Players get higher game experience, either choose to be premium or free. The premium player gain higher game experience by larger install base. Free players get higher game experience by ads watching. And in last, advertisers enter the game industry to broadcasting themselves. That's all for the presentation. Thanks for your listening.